Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Testing. Testing.
And the little packets for the public leave up here for now. Did you? No, I have mine.
Oye, bueno, all of you, come. Oh my God, my neighbor. Yeah. Oh my God, how funny. Chairman, we can start. I'm gonna do the roll call first. I'm just gonna follow the order of the agenda. Board Member De La Sierra,
Present.
Board Member Julia,
Present.
Board Member Sanchez,
Present.
Vice Chair Senra,
Present.
Chair Leoncio,
Present.
Chairman, we have quorum. Let's proceed with the Pledge of Allegiance. So following again the order of the agenda, this is section 4, and it is public comments. I have been informed by IT that we have no remote public comments via Zoom, but I welcome you all to the Planning and Zoning Board meeting. And if you're here for public comments, you can always approach the podium. You state your name and your address for the record, and you state the reason why you're here. And I will, of course, swear you in before, because these are quasi-judicial matters. in
Through the
nature.
chair,
And through-
Madam Clerk, we're going outside the agenda, the order of business. I think the second one is approval of
Approval
minutes.
of minutes. Through the chair, I approve the minutes. I second.
Yes.
Yes. Aye.
Mr. Chair, if I also may make a statement briefly. Madam Clerk, also, I just want to make a statement. With regards to public comments, these are public comments that are not related to the items that are going to be heard. Just so, if you have public comments, you can say them to that point.
Is there anybody that has public comments?
So what I'll do is I'll take testimony of everyone who's going to be participating in public comments, regardless of the case. It could be 5A, it could be 5B. Raise your hand.
You can't do that. You can't do that. Just very briefly, I apologize. So public comments is just on anything in general, but it's not going to be testimony for the actual items. We'll call the items independently, and then if you want to give testimony to those items, you can do so at that time. All right, thank you. You'd have to close public comments.
Is there anybody with public comments?
Close public comments. Mr. Chair, I think we
Okay.
need to now close public comments.
Okay, close public comment.
And that requires a second,
I second it.
and then everyone who's in favor, you can say aye.
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 Mr. Chair, if I may continue to item number 5? May I continue to item number 5? The next item on the agenda? So this would be quasi-judicial public hearings. Please be advised that the following items on the board's agenda are quasi-judicial in nature. An opportunity for persons to speak on each item will be made available after the applicant and staff have made their presentations on each item. All testimony, including public testimony and evidence, will be made under oath or affirmation. Additionally, each person who gives testimony may be subject to cross-examination. If you do not wish to either be cross-examined or sworn, your testimony will be given its due weight. The general public will not be permitted to cross-examine witnesses, but the public may request the board to ask questions on staff or witnesses on their behalf. Persons representing organizations must present evidence of their authority to speak for those organizations. Any persons representing documents to the board should provide the town clerk with a minimum of 10 copies. Further details of the quasi-judicial procedure may be obtained by the clerk. And so at this time, Madam Clerk, if you want to swear everybody in who's going to be giving testimony.
Yes, and even before we do that, because this is a quasi-judicial, also for the board members, if you have your ex parte communications disclosure forms that I emailed a week ago, please have them ready and you can pass them down the dais to me. And yes, as the town attorney was expressing, all of you that are here that will be providing testimony, will be speaking shortly, please stand up and raise your right hand. I will swear you in. Anyone who's going to speak, do you promise to say the truth and only the truth, so help you God? Thank you. You may be seated. And again, for the board members, if you have your ex parte communications, we have to do that before we start each item, 5A. If you have it, please give it to me. If not, disclose your disclosure forms on the microphone if you don't have them.
I have no disclosure, Raul de la Sierra.
Thank you.
I have not either, Fred Sandra.
I have
Thank
no
you.
disclosure.
No disclosure either.
I have no disclosure, Alejandro Sanchez.
Thank you very much. They've been noted.
Board, the first matter before you is variance application 2024-0489. This is Isabel Maria Fernandez, folio 32, 2015-011-0310. The location of the property is 16520 Northwest 83rd Court. Right now, the proper posture would be that we hear from the town first. The next, we can hear from the applicant, and finally, we can hear from the public and have them provide their testimony.
You have to press the little button.
Hello.
There you go.
Okay. Justin Telleria, Planning and Zoning for Town of Miami Lakes. So we're presenting the variance VARH 2024-0489, and the applicant is requesting to retain a 17 by 11 gazebo in the northwest corner of the rear yard that was built without a permit. They are seeking a variance from section 13-1502 Article 2 to allow an after-the-fact gazebo with a 2-foot 6-inch setback from the property line where 5 feet are required. And the second variance is a variance from section 13-1502 Article 3 to allow an after-the-fact gazebo with a 3-foot 6-inch setback from the residence where 10 feet are required. Staff recommends denial of the proposal as shown in the attached plans received on November 15th, based off the fact that the proposal only meets 2 of the 7 criteria.
Hear from the applicant? Unless the board wants to ask any questions of the town at this time.
Not right now.
No. Hello? Okay. My name is Eric Gutierrez. I'm actually Isabel's husband. And I would like to talk on behalf of my wife and my daughter. Basically, they are the applicants. I would like to basically state something before I read something that I wrote last night. I couldn't sleep because of the pressure. We do some other stuff. We work with medicine, and we had a bunch of patients to take care of, and busy schedule. But I guess nervousness. I wrote a few pages, a couple of them actually. And I would like to set for the record that I measure myself the pergola to one of the sides that is supposed to be 5 feet, and it's 2.6 by survey, a survey that we paid. I wasn't home because we were with emergency in Europe. A family member got very ill, and they wrote down 2.6 feet. It's actually 4 and 4 and change to the fence. The other side is actually 7 feet, where it's supposed to be 10, no 3.6. So that survey is wrong. So I want to set that straight for the record. Anyways, I'll read back basically what I wrote overnight. Is first, thank you, board members, Susana, for your guidance and help, Justin as well. We start hearing as proud residents and citizens of Miami Lakes community. Is basically quiet, peaceful, beautiful community where we fell in love when we first set foot in the United States. That was 2002. We bought our property in 2012, and so far we've done as much as we can to keep the archetype, the style of the property, and well set. The pergola, it was done with the proper materials. We hired an architect and also an engineer who drew sketches, elevation calculations, and all the numbers that need to be done for a proper setting of the pergola. The pergola is very deep and also anchored down to the floor, and because of the setting of the property, and the perimeter fence is kind of shifted to one side, is more narrow on one of the corridors as it goes to the pergola, it be wider. And I could not move the pergola closer to the pool because there's a 16 pool there, and neither closer away from the rear fence, which is 7 feet. Measure, and I had witness for that. I had one of my friends and neighbor that measured with me, and we can provide pictures and videos if you like, but he's here behind us that he saw that we had 7 and 4 feet. So I could not move the pergola one position because it would be too near the pool or too close to the house to open that gap from 7 to 10 feet. We cannot. I had sent all the documentation to the proper departments via email, and actually I had concealed documents directly to the front desk. I had digital copies and also paper copies in case that you guys want to review that, and then for sure in the future willing to basically bring more documents to support that. So I hope you guys understand the situation, and humbly ask you, please, to consider approval for the pergola. We got that space, and that's actually the final point that I want to just call the human side of you guys as board members, is that the pergola was built sort of post-COVID because my wife worked in a facility where she saw a lot of death. It was a rehab center, and she couldn't stand to be indoors confined because it was long hours shifts at the hospital. And then I built, without knowledge that I needed permission, to get her to enjoy outside the warmth of the weather, and for sure provide shade on their summer. So I appreciate you guys' consideration. Thank you so much.
Through the chair, I have several questions.
Sure.
Number one is, you said that you had a different survey. Do you have copies of that survey? Because we're going by what's here now.
No, I know.
We're
The
going-
survey,
but
sorry,
let
go
me
ahead.
finish, Let me finish.
Sure.
We're going by what is here now.
Mhm.
So, and that's how we have to go. So if you have different documentation other than what is here, then I would suggest that you postpone it and bring the correct documentation in. Because it would be wrong for us to make a decision on this if the dimensions aren't correct. And I'm doing this in your favor. You know, we're here to
Sure.
help.
We understand. And I just had the whole block involved because they're supporting the idea of keeping the pergola because
So
they don't mind.
If I may,
Go
the
ahead.
issue is, tonight, right, the board is gonna take into consideration your testimony. It's gonna take into consideration the recommendation of the city, the town. In doing so, they may not approve your request, but may make recommendation based on the information that they have in front of them. So if they start making recommendations of, you know, cut here, or do this, or push, right, and it's based on wrong information, it could detrimentally affect you. So I think we don't need to give you a continuance. We could just say, let's hear it right now, but I think it's to your benefit.
No, for sure, I understand. So, yeah,
See,
I agree.
I can make, again, through the chair, I can make a motion to set this aside till the next meeting for you to bring the right documentation. If you had an architect and an engineer that were involved in this,
Yeah.
they should have measured and made sure that you were within the limits to do the work. And they should have told you that you needed a general contractor and pulling permits to do this work.
Will do.
In all those cases. So you need to bring all that documentation in, so it's in your favor. Otherwise, we're gonna make a decision that may be detrimental to what you want done, or you would like to have done.
Okay,
I have a couple of comments. I read here that this is an after-the-fact
yes, sir.
application. So you build the gazebo or the pergola without a permit,
Yes, sir.
okay? And now you're saying that, because the documents here show that the encroachment is 2.5 feet, and you're saying that it's a discrepancy.
Yes, sir.
So I agree with Mr. Sierra that you should postpone it, introduce the new survey, which you say that is 5 feet or 4.5 feet.
It's 4 and change, and then 7.
So that's substantial.
It would be in your benefit.
Outstanding.
Yes, I agree with Mr. Sierra, yes.
Okay, so if you don't mind, we'd like to postpone.
I'll make a motion to postpone this.
I'll second it.
Roll call, I think.
Board Member De La Sierra,
Yes.
Board Member Sanchez,
Yes.
Board Member Julia,
Yes.
Vice Chair Senra,
Yes.
Chairman Leoncio.
Yes,
The motion passes.
Thank you so very much. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. We'll see you next time.
Mr. Chair, may, since since, Mr. Chair, since this is going to be continued, right, to the next month, something that you may wish to consider is to have the testimony read into the record. That way these folks don't need to come next month, and you can take the same consideration,
Yeah, it would be fine.
if you're okay with that.
You want me to make a motion to that?
Yes.
I'd like to make a motion that we take the testimony of the people that are here in favor of, let me go back to the case. I've changed it already. In favor of case VAR H2024-0489, that we accept the,
And reopen public hearing.
and reopen public hearings to accept their testimony. Alex, you second that?
I second that.
You second it? Take a voice
All in
vote.
favor, a voice vote? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Yeah.
Aye.
Aye.
So you can ask them to do their testimony, sir.
So,
Okay, so if you have any people speaking on your behalf, whether it's in favor or not in favor, please come forward and state your case.
State your name, please, and the address. Get closer to the microphone, please.
there we go.
So my first name is Malgorzata. I will spell for the record. It's spelled Malgorzata. Last name is much easier, Kon, Kon. I live at 8281 Northwest 165th Terrace. Very proximate neighbor of Mr. Gutierrez. I've been living in town since August of 2005. First and foremost, I would like to thank Mr. Sierra for recognizing the difference in measurements. Encroachment for plus versus 2.5, it's a substantial difference. The same with the other measurements which relate to this property. One of the reasons why this was also denied, there was a statement that this would affect the neighbors. All of us are here. We lived there for a very long time, some of them from the inception of this neighborhood. We all are in agreement to grant this exception. It's not exception that probably would meet all of the requirements, but in paragraph D, the town denied, stating that this would cause substantial detriment to adjoining properties. With this minimal difference, there is not going to be any issues. The only person that would have concern would be a neighbor that is north to Mr. Gutierrez, who signed his petition and has no issue. 2, most of the gazebos are built many years ago. They are built of concrete with bathrooms, full-blown kitchens, covered roof with concrete tile. His gazebo is mostly a decorative. It's a piece that is anchored, square. There's a minimal wall. It's not even a wall. You can call it decorative piece as you put just so it looks nice, but it's not per se wall. It's not a concrete wall. It's not a wooden wall that is like a permanent structure. It's a very nicely designed, as he mentioned, is with architect. It's not even typical gazebo. Yes, there is the outdoor kitchen, but this is minimal space. If you drive to the neighborhood, you won't even notice. What I also noticed as his neighbor, which I think would pose a hardship for him to comply, is that the pool was built by previous owners before they purchased the property. The way the pool is designed leaves him very little space. In order to comply, the entire structure of the pool would have to be shifted towards south side. On the south side, there was already permanently built, which is attached to the pool, is a jacuzzi. So he's unable to build this on the other side of the pool. And that is a tremendous detriment to him, because that would require enormous undertaking, removal of the pool, removal of the jacuzzi. So he's, like we say, in the sandbox. So I would like to say that we as neighbors, we do not complain. It's not visible to us, and he should be able to enjoy the town as everyone of us does. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else that wants to come, just come up.
Hello.
Hello.
Okay, my name is Orlando Roche, resident of Miami-Dade town. I'm here, I'm sorry for my
You
English
need to
because
give
it's
your
my second
address.
language.
Your address. Say your address.
Okay.
The address. La dirección.
Oh, 165-23 Northwest, 83rd Place, Miami-Dade. He's in my backyard neighborhood. when he coming to say me, they have some problem when he build the gazebo on his backyard. I really, even I don't know, he building the gazebo because our age is very high, you know. I didn't know what they do on his, but I don't have any complaint with that one. I'm here to support him because I think in a really happy neighborhood, we are both happy, you know. This is what I have to say. I support whatever they have to do for him, I will do it because in 5 years, we never had any problem. We got a really good neighborhood. I'm happy with him. This is whatever I have to say. You're welcome.
Thank you.
¿Puedo hablar en español porque inglés mío no sirve? ¿No?
No,
¿En inglés tiene que ser?
it has to be in English, I'm
Ok,
sorry.
entonces voy a decir dos cosas. Mi nombre es Saturnino Peña, yo vivo en la 165-42 Northwest 82 Place, Miami Lakes, Florida 33016. Vivo ahí por 34 años, o 35. Ok, yo lo único que le puedo decir es que en el lado norte, de donde está puesto el gazebo, al colindante hay 4 pies, 7 pulgadas y pico, 8 pulgadas. Y en el lado oeste, donde está la persona del fondo, ¿ok? Hay exactamente 6 pies, 8 pulgadas y pico. Yo no sé dónde sacaron 2 pies y medio o lo que sea. Eso es todo lo que le tengo que decir. Yo no entiendo de construcción, no entiendo de nada. El señor Abelino Leoncio fue el que hizo mi casa. No entiendo completamente de nada. Lo que sí le digo que de medidas sé un poco. Muchas gracias.
Are there any further comments? Testimony, rather? Okay, you can close public testimony.
Okay,
There's no further-
we're gonna close the public comment. Oh, wait, we have one more. Oh, one more? Okay, we're gonna reopen public comment.
Buenas noches.
Excuse me, can I translate for them? Is that possible?
It would be improper if the applicant does it, or fine for anybody else. However you guys want to do. Yeah, I mean, if you want to say it in Spanish, we can't just take it as testimony, though. I mean, if somebody else wants to translate for her.
My name is Elsie
Wait,
Marquez.
Before you begin, can you swear her in that she'll swear
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear to say the truth and only the truth, so help you God? You're going to be translating from Spanish to English.
Yes.
And do you also?
Yes,
furthermore-
I swear.
Okay,
know she
and
did.
what is your name?
My name, Ana Hevia.
Okay, and Gaby, do you also swear that you'll translate from English to Spanish and Spanish to English to the best of your ability?
Yes.
Thank you.
Mi nombre es Elsie Márquez, yo soy la vecina inmediata, 16530 Northwest 83 Court.
My name is Elsie Marquez. I am the immediate neighbor, and my address is, ¿cuál es la dirección?
16530 Northwest.
16530 Northwest 83rd Court.
Yo venía a apoyar a mi vecino porque está teniendo esta situación que yo desconocía, porque yo no veo nada que interrumpa, que haya nada de construcción anormal.
I came here to support my neighbor because I don't think that there's any problem with the construction out of the normal.
Él, cuando vino a decirme la situación, yo le dije, jamás ni me he dado cuenta que haya algún error en tu construcción, ni en tu pérgola, ni en nada. Para mí está todo fine y puedes contar con mi ayuda.
When he came to see me about the situation, I told him that I didn't see any problem with the pergola or any sort of construction that was going on in the backyard or that happened in the backyard, and that he can count on me to come here.
That's it.
That's it.
Thank you.
So you would need to close the public hearing.
I'll
Okay.
make a motion. Oh, close the public.
Close the public comment.
And defer the item until the next meeting.
And I make a motion to close the hearing, or
Close the hearing and defer it to the next
and
time.
close the hearing, defer it to the next.
I'll
upcoming
second it.
meeting. Two.
I think you do a voice vote.
Yeah, just say all in favor.
I'm in favor.
Aye.
Aye.
Mr. Chair and Board, the next matter before you is variance number 2024-0490, Rodney Hernandez Fierro. You approach. Rodney Hernandez Fierro. Please approach. And Board, we will first hear from the town, and then from the applicant.
Hello, Justin Telleria, Planning and Zoning, Town of Miami Lakes. We are presenting VARH 2024-0490, Rodney Hernandez Fierro, 8823 Northwest 142nd Lane, Miami Lakes, Florida 33018. This is a RU1Z zoning district. The applicant is proposing to build a 28-foot by 10-foot 9-inch swimming pool on the rear yard of his single-family home property. The existing rear setback of the main residence is 15.9 feet. Per the town LDC, the rear setback is 5 feet, but the applicant is proposing the pool 3 feet from the rear property line. So he is proposing a variance from section 13-1512, Article 1, to allow a pool with a 3-foot setback from the rear property line where 5 feet are required. Staff recommends approval for the proposal as shown in the attached plans, consisting of 1 page, as it meets the variance criteria at section 13-305 with the following conditions. 1, approval shall be substantially consistent with the plans attached as an exhibit. B, as amended to reflect a minimum 3 feet setback. And 2, additional landscaping as approved by the planning and zoning staff shall be provided as needed. That is all the, we will now take any questions from the board, if there are any.
Through the chair, I have a question. The survey also shows a terrace, so is that coming, do you know if that's being demolished or I mean, I could ask the applicant. If
Yeah, this was just concerning the pool, from the rear property line.
The applicant can come now.
Okay, my name is Ronnie Hernandez. I have the neighbor for 8823 Northwest 42nd Lane from Miami Lake. I have the 2 letter from my neighbor is approved, and you need a copy.
And just to advise the board that this would satisfy condition 1, which is the only one that he did not meet on the staff report.
With regards to what he asked a second ago, with the terrace that you have that's right now in your backyard, is it gonna be staying in place, or is it gonna be removed for the installation of the pool?
Either remove complete the roof.
The terrace, yeah.
The terrace is the remove complete the approve anything application for the permit for the pool is the remove the roof.
Okay, so it's part of the permit to
Correct.
remove that, the demo of the roof.
Correct, the remodel is the ¿cómo se dice? The removal.
All right.
And
There's gonna be no roof over the pool.
No,
and behind your home is, there's no other neighbor, there's a road, right? Yeah, behind, he doesn't have really a neighbor behind. What he has is a sidewalk and a road.
in the back, no, is the street. The neighbor is in the right, and the left is the more
And-
10 piece.
Okay.
In the back is only the street.
There's no neighbors in the back?
Sí, ahí no se estaría molestando a nadie. En la parte de atrás es una calle principal y a los dos lados se está respetando el feedback.
I will translate and
The,
you
the street
translate.
in the back is 143rd Street.
Yeah.
It drives into Barbara.
Right, drives into Barbara Goldman, so you have the sidewalk and the swale, actually.
Okay, okay.
Through the chair, are you finished with your,
I don't know, any question you need?
no, I mean, but you said everything that you wanted to say,
Usted dijo
reference
todo lo que
this?
tenía que decir.
Bueno, sí. De momento lo que quería era decirle era eso, que todo no se está molestando a nadie, se está respetando el feedback, los códigos de Miami Lake.
So for the moment,
Okay,
I just
we-
want to say that,
I'm sorry, we need to swear you in that you'll translate.
yes, all right,
All right, will you translate from English to Spanish to English to the best of your ability?
I will.
And what is your name and address?
Daniel Har.
No, your name for the record?
My name
Yeah.
is Daniel Hart. Spell it, okay? D-A.
No, Danielle Hart?
Yes,
And what is your address?
I'm in Miami Beach.
Okay,
2655 Collins Avenue, Miami Beach, Florida, 33140.
thank you.
Okay.
Como estaba diciendo, no se está respetando los códigos de Miami Lake. Los dos vecinos a los lados tienen más de 10 pies y en la parte de atrás necesitamos 2 pies, pero lo que hay es una calle, no se molestaría nadie.
So we are not disturbing any of the neighbors, since the neighbors are to the right and to the left. We're just requiring more space towards the street so that we can make the swimming pool, and we need 3 more feet.
Se va a derrumbar todo, no quedaría nada, ningún techo y se debería cumplir con todos los códigos.
So we are removing the roof that's currently there, and we otherwise respecting all of the codes of the Miami Lakes.
Si necesitan copia del dibujo, tenemos copias igual que del survey.
So if you want a copy of the design, I have copies as well as the survey.
Through the chair, are you aware that if in the future you decide to do a project where you're gonna set up a gazebo or some type of roofing, you are gonna need to pull a separate permit for that?
Que si en el futuro quiere volver a construir un techo, que va a necesitar un permiso separado para eso.
That's fine.
Yeah, fine.
If there's no other questions.
Anybody else has
Left.
comments on this?
We can just go ahead.
Comentarios.
Okay, yes, we're gonna close the comments now.
We can sit down.
Thank you.
Through the chair, this area is a special condition area where they have had very little space in the back. There are areas there that they have swimming pools, and you can see it in the photograph on page 39. You can see at the bottom of the page where there's some of those houses that are swimming pools. I looked at it on Google Earth and looked at the whole area. So it's kind of a special condition. I think that the town has allowed this prior to, Suzanne?
So we have granted a couple of variances in this area. These yards are extremely narrow, and obviously this is sort of a denser single-family condition because they are RU1C, so their yards are sometimes as narrow as 15 feet. We have, again, it's not dispositive. You do not have to grant the variance just because it was granted in the past,
Right.
and that I always have to make very clear. But we have granted a couple of variances in this area, and a couple of other places were able to meet the 5-foot setback that they require, because they don't require as large a setback as in other areas in the IR1C.
Yeah, what I see is that they have 3
So
feet to the house.
Yes,
And
yes,
3
there's-
feet to the fence.
Correct.
It's really, really tight.
Some of them are very, very tight, yeah.
Very tight.
I'd like to make a motion. No, ya usted terminó la parte.
Ya, terminaste, tuviera que hablarlo todo otra vez.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve this.
I'll second the
with
motion.
the staff recommendation.
I'll second the motion.
I'd like to maybe make a friendly change and say that if they could make the pool 9'8", just to give a little more room in there for access, because 3 feet is very little to walk around
But
the
isn't
swimming pool.
Isn't it 9.8?
Yeah, he's asking 9 feet 8 inches, and he's gonna have 3 feet on the side of the house and 3 feet on the other side, and that's really narrow.
You're proposing
If-
9.3, 9.5?
Yeah, so if he did the pool 9 feet at that end,
Uh-huh.
you know, give up the 8 inches in the pool, it would make it a little safer condition for going around. It'll be a friendly amendment, but you don't have to accept it, this is a thought of mine. So no one's accepted it, then let's move on.
No.
It's
Four inches on each side is not gonna be much.
No, I would do it on one side only,
Oh, one side.
actually the house side.
Yeah.
I second the motion.
You second it?
So just for clarification, reduce the width of the pool to 9 feet.
Reduce the width of the pool to 9 feet, so he has 3 feet 8 along the walkway there.
But
Along the wall, along the wall or
Oh.
from the house?
Around
From
the
the
house, by the
Oh,
house.
from the house.
Yeah, from the house, because that's gonna be the more critical area.
So we have to amend my motion.
But
Well,
wait a
it's a
second,
friendly-
the pool itself
Yeah.
is not 9 feet all the way through, 9.8.
No, at the other end is 10, yeah. I
Yeah,
see
but
that.
Mr. De La Sierra, if I may, the variance that they're seeking is the distance not from the pool to the house, which does not require a variance. They could put the pool in the middle of the living room for all
Right.
the
Oh,
code
really?
cares. The variance that they're seeking is from
On the back.
from the property line to the pool on the rear.
Right.
We're not necessarily concerned with how close it is to the home. That is something that the building department will worry about, whether or not
Okay.
it's gonna touch the foundation.
Right, that's my
And this, I
concern
know,
is the
because
foundation.
that's what you're worried about, but,
Right, the foundation.
yeah.
Right, the angle of repose is the problem that I see.
Right, but the building department and the structural engineer there will make that consideration at that time.
All right, then we'll let that go then. Then I'll withdraw it.
So we go back to the.
Go back to what your
To the
original
motion.
was. and-
A motion to approve.
Motion to approve with town staff recommendations.
Okay,
Say
so,
we can take a vote.
yes. Board Member Sanchez,
Yes.
Board Member De La Sierra,
Yes.
Board Member Julia,
Yes.
Vice Chair Senra,
Yes.
Chairman Leoncio.
Yes.
The motion passes.
We have another one?
The next matter for your consideration, Board, is variance 2024-0517, Rolando Chirino. Yes, we'll hear from the town first, and then we'll be able to hear from you, Mr. Chirino.
Justin Telleria, Planning and Zoning, Town of Miami Lakes. So this is VARH 2024-0517. The applicant is Orlando Chirino, and the applicant is proposing a 24 by 12 foot gazebo on the west side of the rear yard of a single-family property. He's asking for a variance from section 13-1502 to allow a gazebo to have a 10-foot 6-inch setback from the side facing the street where 15 feet are required. And the second variance is a variance from section 13-1502, Article 3, to allow a gazebo with a 6-foot 6-inch setback from the residence where 10 feet are required. The staff recommends approval of the application because they meet 5 of the 7 criteria.
I have a question to staff. So here, the code is different in terms of the side setback because he's on a corner, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
If not, that variance would not, if it would be an interior lot, it would be not, he wouldn't need the variance.
Correct.
We can hear now from the applicant.
My name is Aldo Gomez. I live in Miami-Dade County. 12745.
Speak to the microphone, I can't hear you.
Okay. 12745 Southwest 72 Terra, Miami, Florida, 9988183 zip code. The owner this property without problems, personal problems, and without in the moment. And he is not present.
So the owner of the property is not here?
No here.
And
We
he-
have, estuvieron
he's
aquí.
Okay.
Mm.
Would you
So
like
no,
to
So defer?
postpone the hearing until he's back in town, or?
No, no go back.
Not coming back?
No.
So what do you need the permit for?
What? I don't understand.
Can someone, would you prefer that somebody translates for you?
Yes.
Okay, can somebody translate for him?
Justin?
Just,
Just-
I mean, it shouldn't be,
You're it, Justin.
but he's a member of our staff.
Yeah, but who
Yeah.
else? Nobody else.
Let's go ahead and just ask him the questions in Spanish, and then we can go back to the record. So we're gonna go off the record for the moment, and just ask him the questions in Spanish.
¿El dueño? ¿Qué está pasando con el dueño de la
Tuvo
propiedad?
que salir por un problema personal.
¿Y cuándo va a regresar él?
I don't know. No sé.
¿Y quién es usted?
Yo soy un trabajador de él.
Un empleado.
You're
un
the
empleado
contractor,
de-
am I correct?
Ya, yo sé. Yo lo conversé con Susana.
Sí.
Y me
We
dijo,
have-
vamos a tener que posponer
Sí.
para el próximo mes.
He would
Es-
need
es- eso es lo que estábamos
I would say
proponiendo.
that he would need a power of attorney.
He would need a
in
power
order
of
to
attorney
speak-
at
In order
least.
to speak on his behalf.
Yes, correct, at the
So
very
the-
least.
it has to be postponed.
Yeah.
Usted necesita un
Poder legal de poderlo hacer.
Para poder hacerlo.
Ok, ok.
Y no tiene,
Es que él estaba aquí, pero tuvo necesidad de irse.
y
Lo
no
llamaron
tiene
por
idea
teléfono.
de cuándo regresa, un mes.
No, sí. El próximo mes estará aquí.
Para el próximo mes se puede
Sí,
estar aquí.
sí,
Ok,
sí.
entonces es lo que tenemos que hacer.
Sí, no es que se haya ido aquí. Él estaba aquí ahora mismo por un problema de emergencia. Lo llamaron. Y tuvo que ausentarse. Ok. Sorry, my English. Yo sé. Yo me quedé para representarlo porque yo vine también con él. Ok.
All right.
Thank you.
I make a motion to postpone.
I
to the
second
next
it.
hearing.
Yeah, go ahead.
Who makes it? He made it? You seconded it.
That's it?
Yeah.
Made and seconded.
Yeah.
To postpone the hearing.
Okay.
Postpone it.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you.
You're welcome.
Sí, sí. Sí, 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 ellos me mantienen avisado constantemente por vía email. Okay. Thank you. ¿Me puedo retirar?
Well, this is the most
Buenas
complicated
noches.
hearing ever. Gracias. This hearing has been terrible. I didn't say it was your fault. It was all out of sync.
We can have a motion to adjourn? No? Okay, director's report.
The director's report.
Report, director.
So Happy New Year to everybody. We're starting the new year. As you've noticed, we're going to be meeting the second Tuesday of the month as opposed to the first Tuesday of the month. We've switched it around a little bit. If anybody has a problem, please let us know so we can adjust the calendar accordingly. I want to introduce formally my new right hand, the new transportation coordinator and planner, Justin Teleria, that has already been presenting cases to y'all. Again, you can consider him my right hand. Whatever you need from me, you can always ask him as well, because it's either him or me. So
I'd like to, through the chair, I'd like to recognize whoever came up with this new binders. I think in all the years that we've been doing this, we've never had this professional.
and now that you bring that up, Mr. Senra, I would also like to introduce our new
Deputy Town Clerk.
Assistant.
Deputy Town Clerk. Deputy Town Clerk. I was drawing a blank for a second. He does a lot of things, so he's wearing a lot of hats, and he's also the assistant to the council, Alex Martinez. He's sitting here behind, and he will be helping. He will be chairing the table in the next hearing as well.
Wonderful.
So whenever Gina, he can't make it. So.
Okay.
Yes. If you take them, they're $10. If you want it, you can take it, they're $10.
I make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
That was already.
I second.
We did it already.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
When do you get, didn't you get appointed?
Tuesday, it goes to vote at the council. So right now, Councilman does it. Yeah. And then Tuesday, the council will vote, yea or nay. And if I get 3 yeas, then